What's up, guys? Welcome to Getting Fished. Today I'm with Michael, or Doozy, as we can call him, and Noah. We're going to be talking about our favorite baits in a bunch of different categories, so crankbaits, crawls, topwater, swim baits, whatever. We got a bunch here. There's a few categories we don't have, and there's a few baits that we fish a lot that just aren't here. So yeah, I guess we're going to start. Before we start, got to thank the sponsor, Official Statewear. They make some great shirts, sweatshirts, a bunch of other stuff. Phone cases, yeah, a lot of stuff, cool colors. I'll leave them linked below. Check them out. So we're gonna start with a Dropshot bait. My favorite is the Zoom Z drop worm. It's just a little crosstail worm, about 4 inches long. Comes in a lot of good colors. Well, not a lot of good colors, only a handful of colors, but they got some good colors. I like them. Caught a lot of smallmouth on them this year, and quite a few largemouth too. They've been a real producer for me for the Dropshot bait this year, so that's my favorite. Your favorite drop shot?
I just started with the Max Scent Flatworms. I just got put onto these when the Elite Series was up at, whatever that was.
Thousand Islands.
Thousand Islands.
Yeah, well, everyone got put onto them then.
Yeah, no, you're right. But my favorite color is the smoke purple, and I just fished them. I mean, I was late to them. I fished them for a good couple months, and just over the couple months, I smashed them on them. So that's got to be my favorite drop shot bait.
Alright, so my favorite drop shot bait is Gary Yamamoto shot-shaped worm. I typically throw it in a green pumpkin, really green pumpkin blue flake, green pumpkin black flake, anything like that.
Alright, that's it for that. Alright, so what are you guys going to do next? Let's do crawls. I like crawls. So, my favorite just crawl for just Texas rigging, fishing down the bank. Zoom UV speed crawl. It's just a very compact profile. Gets a lot of bites because Texas rig. It's an intrusive profile. It's coming through the water fast, and this is just smaller. So I think it gets a lot more bites. Maybe not as big bites, but it can get a lot more bites than a larger crawl will. Caught a couple fish on this. I caught a tournament fish on it this year. That's all I got to say about it. Just a good small compact crawl bait.
I like the Yamamoto Flappin' Hog. I also like the Yamamoto Mermaid, but this one, I seem to get more bites on this one. Has no action whatsoever, but it's kind of like a beaver. Fish just like it. I mean,
A lot of appendages too.
Yeah.
Puts off movement in the water.
But if there's a day that I'm just like not getting bit, if I just Texas rig this and take it to the docks, and I'm bound to get something.
Oh yeah.
Now, I went the opposite way of Jack's on the crawl. Instead of going with the small, slimmer profile, I went with the Berkeley Havoc Crawl Fatty. I normally fish it in green pumpkin, but I also fish it in black and blue depending on water clarity.
The thing I mentioned about that, we just talked about it just there. It's very wide profile, very big when it comes to the water. So, very wide, opposite of what I do, and I've used that. It works. Now, I still like this better, but that works. Next, what are we going to do next? Let's do a jig trailer next. So, jig trailer, I like the Reaction Innovation Sweet Beaver. It just has a good profile, good crawl profile. Just, I don't know. I haven't used it a lot lately because it's winter, but I do like it. You separate those pinchers, and when they come through the water, spread out. It looks just like a crawl hopping off the bottom. I really like that on the back of a jig.
I'm going to say 95 out of 100 times I go to put a jig on, my trailer is going to be Zoom Z Crawl.
I think 100 out of 100, but
it's a lot. But
it's a lot.
What I'm going to do is I'm just going to count up 10 of these little appendages here and just rip it off there. And I mean, that trailer and that jig just produces. It just gets bit. That's the only thing I can say about it.
Now, for my jig trailer, I went with what Jack's over here uses for his crawl, and that is the Zoom Ultraviolet Speed Crawl. Normally throw it in whatever's going to match the jig, normally green pumpkin.
Alright. That's pretty good, dudes. What are we going to go into next? We're going to do crankbaits next.
Let's go.
Alright.
Should we just do the jig?
Yeah, let's actually do the jig next. That's a good point. So, the jig I like to use, I actually have it on this rod right now. Maybe I'll hold it up in front of the camera. It's a Dirty Jigs pitching jig. That pitching head is good for all-around stuff. You know, docks and wood mostly, but it works in weeds too. And this one's beat up because it was one of the only jigs I threw the whole season. And it gets bit.
This is the Dirty Jigs HP flipping jig, And I mean, this jig was on my rod for probably 4 months straight, and it's beat. It just gets bit. I mean, it's what I pick up if I can't get a bite on anything else. And I mean, yeah, just go to the thickest grass I can find and throw this around, and it's bound to happen.
For my jig, I personally like a finesse jig. I use, along with these guys, I also use the Dirty Jig brand, very popular for us three. But I use in Go-To is a good color I like, green pumpkin. But that's the reason why I use such a small, slim trailer, is because I like to throw the finesse jig.
All right, that's good. You want to do crankbaits now?
Sure.
All right. So I went away from the mainstream. These guys are going to give you crap for this one probably, but I like the Bomber. There's a Bomber 6A. They also make the 4A and other baits in that same line of baits, just other diving depths. And I don't know. I've been fishing this bait for as long as I can remember. Different models of this. The 4A. I fish a lot of the 4A too. But the 6A, specifically in this color, I love it. I get so many bites on it. Just that good mod depth crankbait. That's probably one of my top choices besides what he has. But yeah, you can go next.
I like the River to Sea Biggie. It's more of an expensive crankbait. I mean, it's a lot of money to end up with a crankbait with a plastic bill. But I mean, it's loud. It's a loud bait. It's got thick hooks on there. I mean, it's an Ish Monroe design. And I mean, it's just...
It looks pretty wide, pretty thick.
It's really wide. It's almost... It's like a...
Thick with 3 C's.
It's like a 2.0, I would say. On like a size from... If it was a Strike King size. But yeah, that's... River Sea Biggie, and I know it.
Alright, now, similar to what Noah throws, I throw a Strike King square bill. I prefer the 1.5. This is a 1.0, but I usually throw the 1.5, or if depends how big the fish are in that lake. Sometimes I go up to the 2.0. But mainly I throw it in Gizzard Shad just because it's a common natural color. If not, if the water's really dirty, I throw it in chartreuse and blackback.
You said 2.0, they don't make a 2.0. You meant the 2.5. Just want to correct you there. Okay. So, I guess next we're going to do Lipless crankbait.
Yeah.
Alright, Lipless crankbait is a no-brainer for me. Red Eye Shad. I've used that bait so many times, caught so many fish with it. Like Gizzard Shad, that's a good color. And I just had great history with this bait. Quarter ounce, half ounce, both of them do well. I caught more fish probably in the quarter ounce, but yeah, it's a great bait. Alright, next.
I like the Lucky Craft LV500. It's a bigger lipless crankbait. It's a giant lipless crankbait, actually. I mean, I haven't noticed a difference in bites. I still get small bites. I get bigger bites than I will on a Red Eye Shad, and I'll get the same small bites too, because it's not that much bigger. But yeah, I like the LV500.
Similar to what Jax throws, I throw the exact same lure, Strike King, Red Eye Shad. I either throw it in gold or Gizzard Shad.
Gold or Gizzard Shad. It's a good bait. It's a good bait. Alright, next we're going to do jerk baits?
Yeah.
Alright. So, my favorite jerk bait. I actually have it rigged on a rod right now, so this is kind of annoying. But, it is, right now, I haven't fished jerk baits a whole lot, but right now I like this one. This is the Rapala Shadow Wrap Shad. I also like the Shadow Wrap. I like that. It's kind of a smaller design, but it does have that. It's a thicker back. It's tall, if that makes sense. And I think it does a better job at mimicking shad than most other baits do. It's an affordable bait. That's why I fish them, because they're affordable. Come in some good colors, so check them out.
I like 2 lipless crankbaits. My number 1
Lipless?
is I like 2 jerk baits. My first one's gonna be the Mega Bass Vision 110. I mean, that's just everybody throws that. But I don't know. It's just good profile. Good. It's just a nice jerk bait. It's expensive though. I mean, but you get what you pay for. My second favorite is probably the Jackal Re-Range. It's a really thick back, and I mean, it's just when you work it, it darts like no other.
2 jerk baits I throw is one, I throw the Strike King, or I also throw the Rapala Ripstop.
Ripstop? Alright. You gonna do swim baits?
Sure.
Or what? Okay, swim
I ain't
baits.
getting swim bait.
I think it's because we all throw the same swim baits.
Yeah, we all threw.
We all throw the Kitex. Yeah.
Mm.
Not much to talk about there. Kitex are probably the
Demiki
best.
armor sheds.
You use other stuff?
I use Demiki armor shed.
Okay.
It's-
So I guess we'll do Topwater next. Is that our last one?
Yep.
I got two more I want to mention after that. I don't fish Topwater a lot. I've used this lure a lot as a kid. It's a Rebel Pop R. I probably wouldn't buy the same exact bait. It's kind of a cheap bait, but the popper in general, that style bait, it's a killer for me. I catch so many fish on that one. Mostly in the evening, I do really well on that one. And yeah.
So if I'm not in the grass, my favorite thing to throw is just a walking bait. I like this Jackal Mudsucker. That just produces fish for me. But I throw the Strike King Sexy Dog, the Lucky Craft, Sammy, Reaction Innovations Vixen. I mean, they're all good. They all work the same. I mean, they just get bit. Even the hidden ones, the spooks. I like the spooks a lot. But yeah, I mean, walking baits just seem to get bit for me if I'm in open water.
For me, when I fish topwater, I'm fishing in the slop, fishing a
Do you also use monofilament when you do that?
no.
So you haven't lost a tournament because
Yeah.
you were fishing a frog with monofilament. Just want to make that clear.
Yes, that did happen.
Okay.
Mainly because I was told that we're fishing deep grass. I really didn't think my boat partner was going to be in a foot of water.
That went shallow. We should have gone deep. Never mind. Talk about your lure.
I use the Savage Gear. I use both the popping frog and the regular frog.
All right. So that's all for. Actually, we'll talk about the Senkos real quick. You guys both use Yamamoto, right?
Yes.
Yep.
All right. Well, I throw a different company. I throw the Wacky Worm. They're a local company. They have a lot more salt than most baits do on the market, except the Yamamotos. They're cheaper than Yamamotos. I can get them in bulk. So that's why I throw these, and they get bit. Maybe not as much as the Yamamotos as these guys would argue, but I like them. They're cheaper.
Nah, they get bit the same.
Yeah, basically. The other one I'm talking about, you guys don't have any with you, but the tube. That company, the same company that makes the Senkos, also makes the tubes that I use.
That is my favorite tube.
They're good cheap. They're good tubes. They're cheap. You get them in bulk packs. A local company makes them. I'll leave their website link below. You can actually order from them through the phone. If you're in the area, I'll probably leave the address there too. So the tubes they make are good. Okay. Okay, guys. So I think is that it? You guys want to talk about anything else?
I'm done.
All right. So that's all of our favorite baits. Check them out. The other thing to mention is these are all our favorite baits. Doesn't mean we don't use others. I use a bunch of others, like especially for drop shot baits.
I use tons of others.
Yeah, we use a lot of others too. So I guess that's it. So we will see you in the. Oh, hold on. Check these guys out. I'll leave them linked below. And that's pretty much it. They make some great stuff. I'll see you guys.